Okay, hello guys, good evening. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing fine, amazing and well. Welcome back guys to another vlog. Welcome back to another video. As I've seen from the thumbnails, the title of today's vlog, today it's gonna be a Q&A. I'm gonna be answering some of your most asked questions, especially recently. I love doing these, especially at the start of the month, or if I actually miss doing it at the end of the month. So in today's vlog, I'm gonna be answering some of your most asked questions, and I'm gonna try to be as genuine, was that English? As genuine as possible. Before I dive into the vlog too, if this is the first time you're watching me, going on over here, hi there, I'm Tanya Shylock. I'm a Ugandan beauty and lifestyle content creator. Feel free to please subscribe, like, comment, and share out with friends and family. Yes, so this brings me to the first question, guys. Hello Tanya, I'm curious to know what kind of nurse are you sending a lot of love from Egypt. So a lot of you guys have actually asked me this question over and over again, which kind of nurse I am. So I'm a VMMC nurse. I have a VMMC certificate. I also have VMMC resuscitation other certificate. So I specialize in VMMC. VMMC means voluntary medical male circumcision. Right now I'm working with CDC, Center for Disease Control, under an IP, which is a very amazing organization. My main roles as a VMMC nurse, the first thing is to ensure that every client who actually goes on to table, they are actually very legible when it comes to patient history, disease history, all those different things, physical examination. The second thing is to make sure that all instruments and all the different equipments which are going to be using onto the client while they're on table having their VMMC surgery or voluntary medical male surgery, they are actually of very high quality. If they are to be processed, they are very well processed, and they meet the quality standard, if that makes sense. The other one is to make sure that we do the right thing when it comes to anesthetic, or local anesthetic, that is bupivacaine and lidocaine, to make sure that the surgeon or the person I'm working with, they are doing the right thing when it comes to anesthesia. The fourth thing, I think it is all about data completion and quality data when it comes to VMMC. And the last one, it would be overlooking the VMMC activity. And then on top of that, it is actually nursing care to ensure that all clients who come into the facility, they get best quality nursing care. With that, I think I've been able to explain to you what VMMC nurse is, and that is what literally I do. The other thing, most of the time, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, Tanya, we thought that nurses don't do surgeries." It bases on countries where you are. A couple of African countries, they don't allow actually nurses to be able to do even the smallest surgeries, while a couple of other African countries and actually other Western countries, they actually allow nurses to do even much more. I know of countries where nurses can do a cesarean section, of which in Uganda that is actually not possible. You need to have a degree in medicine and surgery to be able to do that. So I think it alters very well. Right now where I am, I can be able to actually do VMMC surgery, and I'm eligible to do a VMMC surgery based on the courtesy of what I do and my kind of experience here and all that. But most of the time, these surgeries, it's a two procedure kind of surgery. So it means if I'm on table, I have to have someone, or if I'm doing the procedure, I have to have someone actually assisting me. And yeah, I think that explains very well what your Tanya actually does. This brings me to the second question. When are you visiting Nairobi, Kenya, Tanya? So, you guys, Nairobi has been on my bucket list for a very long time. I remember I was supposed to actually come to Nairobi somewhere at the start of this year, I believe, or at the end of last year, but that was unable. So my friend, good friend Nefan Hesire actually had told me if possible to you. It was somehow, it's a kind of a long story, but to cut it short, I was supposed to go to Nairobi, and Nairobi has been on my bucket list for now some good time. Also, when I saw Nabs is also a fellow YouTuber. When she went to Nairobi, I enjoyed her trip so much, like so much. I was seeing all the vlogs. and that prompted me to actually put in gear to be able to visit Nairobi. I would really like to come, but according to the financial situation I'm in right now, also things I have to accomplish right now, I'm not in a position to be able to do so. Right now, I'm planning to be going back to do a DNE, Diploma Nursing Extension, and that is taking a toll on my savings. It means that I can't even take off a mini percentage. I have to really be very intentional when it comes to how I'm spending my money, because the first semester for DNE is almost here. But I would really like to come and visit Nairobi. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if I get someone and is able to sponsor me for free to be able to travel to Nairobi, or when I finish my Diploma Nursing Extension, I'll be able to come to Nairobi and see you guys. Yep. This brings me to the next question. What would you tell your younger YouTuber self now that you have established a community? So when I saw this question, actually the person who asked this question was Janet. She's also a YouTuber. Thank you very much, Janet, for this amazing question. So starting out YouTube in 2016 and not being able to be consistent in the first 2 years, and from 2018 being as consistent as I can to 2024, I think I would tell my younger self to be very patient with myself. Then the second thing, I would tell my younger self to not put myself on pressure to be able to see results, because building a community, a lot of times people come back to watch you because they can relate to you, because they love your personality. They have been able to grow roots into your personality, of which earlier on in the younger years of myself on YouTube, I didn't think about that. I used to create content, but it was not that relatable. I used to create content, but I wouldn't fully share or shine out my personality, of which one of these days I've realized that a lot of people fall into love with content creators because of who they are and how far they can relate with them. I would tell my younger self to actually be patient with myself, let my personality shine out more, and also create more relatable content. There isn't anything bad about living in a house like this. There isn't anything bad about boarding a boda while going to work. There isn't anything bad about eating chapati with beans, because a lot of people, that's what they can afford, if that makes sense. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would tell my younger self, if I'm to actually go back in time, is to be very consistent. I promise you, I've been consistent. A lot of people who watch me know, but I promise you guys, if I was even far much consistent, right now we would be in 50,000 subscribers. I'm not saying that I would change fate, but I have literally understood the power of consistency, showing up every day. There is that power to be able to show up every day and to be able to put out content. I've realized that, you know what, after some time you find your tribe on the way. The third thing I would actually be able to tell my younger YouTuber self is all these fancy gears and cameras and ring lights and iPhones and all that comes with time. I used to pressurize myself a lot, especially while I was still, the younger YouTuber self. I don't have this, I don't have that, I'll not create this, I'll not create that, I can't edit this video because I don't have Final Cut Pro, because I'm editing on a lot. But I've realized that all these fancy things, they come with time. As long as you can be able to use whatever you have, everything will just fall into place. Yep. So this brings me to the next question. This is from JP Joseph. Do you think being in a public eye / YouTube has effect on having or being in a relationship? I truly think so, and this is my opinion why I truly think so. Being in the public eye, or being a YouTuber or a TikToker, and especially a popular one. I'm not popular, guys. They're really popular. I'm not popular. I might be a little bit popular, but I'm not as popular as some content creators. I truly believe that whenever you are in the public eye, or a lot of people know you, they have a particular perspective of you, especially from online, than in personal life. And a lot of people might actually be able to object you or reject you, or not be able to establish ties with you because they see you from a particular level. I give an example for myself. A couple of my friends who I've actually found through YouTube, and they have known me through YouTube, most of the time they're like, "Oh, Tanya, I thought you were this, I thought you were that, I thought you were that, and yet you are this and that and that." So for me, looking at that, it really gives me the energy of that a lot of people see us from there, but they see us from down there, and yet we accomplish completely opposite, and I think it can have really an effect. But it goes back to who you are establishing ties with or in establishing a relationship with, you know. Yep. So Joseph, I think I've answered your question very well. The next question is, are you ever going to consider having a tattoo on your body? Remember, I'm in Africa and I grew up in an African home. Guys, I love my body so much, and it has taken me years to be able to love the body God created me in. While I was still much younger, I never used to love my nose, I never used to love my head, I never used to love a lot of features on my body. But right now, the more I grow and the more I can be able to provide the little things for myself, and the more I've seen grace and gratitude move hand in hand for me, especially by God, I promise you, I think I've reached that point in my life where I'm really so confident, so comfortable with my body that I literally don't want to manipulate it in one way or another. I'm not saying that people who have tattoos, it's actually manipulation. It's a choice, I truly understand. But for me, I just feel like I have such a very nice body, and whoever wants to see me the way they see me, that is okay. And I don't have a lot of things to remind. I have things actually that I would love to remind myself on a day-to-day basis, but I think that my soul and my girth has actually grown to that level where I'm very confident in myself, and I wouldn't love anything to be on anywhere on my body, especially when it comes to marking and all that. So I think that answers your questions. I'm not considering in one way or another getting a tattoo on my body. Yeah, I'm not saying that getting it would be bad. It would be bad, especially coming from an African home and from an African picture, but I don't think that would be a very big limitation, especially when it comes to my parents and siblings and sisters and all that. Yes. So I hope that I've answered actually your question too. This brings me to the next question. This is by Nakalema Jane. Yeah. What is your favorite color, Tanya? I love anything brown. I love anything brown, and for me that can be beige brown, it can be deep brown, it can be light brown, it can be anything brown, anything that has that color in that particular room. I fall for it. I used to be a teal kind of person, but one of these days, I think the more I've growing up, I realized that I gravitate more towards browns, and I really like them, especially when it comes to my clothes too. Yep. This brings me to the next question. This is by Flavia 256. When is your birthday, Tanya? So my birthday, actually, a lot of people who know me, they know this. My actual birthday, my documented birthday is not my real birthday. So my documented birthday is on the 16th of Jan 1999. That is documented. My passport, my birth certificate, my national ID, my educational papers, all of them have 16th of Jan 1999. But actually my truest birthday is on some date in Feb 1999. Feb Jan, because when I was born, I was actually not born in a hospital or anything like that, and a lot of data was lost, especially because my mom, after giving birth to me, I think she got eclampsia or something like that. Also, the attending midwife at the time, she did have some issues. She fainted over. So it was a long kind of process. And, African parents also, she has had a couple of kids. So she doesn't remember all that information. And she wasn't that vigilant to literally capture those dates in the right time. So I'm not meaning that actually, it used to actually somehow bother me, but right now it does no longer bother me at all. So whoever wants to send me pictures, I'm born over around Jan and Feb, but the documented one is in Jan, 16th of Jan. Yup. I hope I've answered your question, Nakarima Jen. The next question is, what is that one place you really would love to visit? So this question is from I can't read this name. I don't want to butcher it. So, but the person who has asked the question, I think no. I think one place I would really love to visit, and I think it is Paris in France. Is Paris in France? I'm not certain, but French. Like some of those French countries, I would really love to visit. I don't want to stay, but I would really love to visit either Paris, where there is that tower, or French. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below before you come to me. I don't know why, but I just feel like French people, when you look at the movies and, social media, I think they're some of the kindest people. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they're some of the kindest people. And I would really, really love to visit like Paris or France, all those French countries. Let me know in the comment section below if you know a couple of more of them, if that makes sense. Yep. This brings me to the next question. This is by I think it is Prim 5 Rose. This is what is your biggest challenge as a YouTuber and how do you go about it? So thank you very much for asking this question, Prim. I think one of my biggest challenge for me as a YouTuber over the years, it has been being able to understand what my viewers want to really watch. I've had issues with that for the longest time ever, to get the right idea of what you guys enjoy watching. Sometimes it drives me nuts. Sometimes I don't know what you really want, and it keeps me in that circle of creating content that you don't enjoy. And most of the time it leads to creators block, and I'm out of content ideas, and I have to go back on the drawing board and look into videos you have been watching consistently. Like, for me, that has been one of the greatest challenge. I think one of the solution I'm doing for that is to put, whenever I feel like I'm baggaged, to put a step back and be able to understand which videos did you watch most, which ones did you enjoy most, and I create more of those. Then the other thing for me, it has been consistency, especially in these current kind of years. Even before, having over 2.2k videos, it means that I've tried to be like consistent, but the consistency of bringing out the same content over and over again, it has been quite hard for me. And I promise you, I've tried my best, and I don't know how much I have to go on to still try. I'll definitely do, but it has really been very hard for me. What I'm doing about that, I'm really trying to make it the point that I try to plan way ahead when it comes to my content, so that at least the flow remains the same, and also the schedule for uploading remains the same. Yes. Yeah, this brings me to the next question. How are you doing, Tanya? Haven't heard from you in a bit. I hope you have seen me now. What is your favorite book of all times? As I also hugely enjoy reading. For me, my favorite book of all times, guys, this is The New Earth. I'm a person who enjoys spiritual literature a lot. Eckhart and Oprah and a couple of other spiritual leaders of our current generation have been very key when it comes to my rising. I promise you, because I truly believe that if it was not for people such as them, there are a couple of things I would have done not the way how they would have been, if that makes sense. Because I realized that since I embarked on this different journey of understanding how and when and where and how things are, it has been so smoothed out for me, especially my journey. The New Earth is that book that gives you the right tool to grow, to blossom, understand, check off, click, and be your best self. That is the summary. It is by Eckhart. I think it was written in 2009-8, and also on Oprah's podcast episode. That is the Podbean. That is Super Soul. They go into depth with that book. My God. The ego, the super ego, our truest self, how to find your truest self, how to how to change your ego-based mind, how to be your best self. Guys, a lot of different information, and I would actually recommend to you. But since you asked the first book, one of my favorites, I'll just give you a couple more others. The next other book that I really like, it is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Murphy. Guys, if you don't have that book on your nightstand, your shelf, whatever you call it, I promise you are missing out. This is one of the books of the century. It is an amazing book, banange. So it will lift you from point A to point B. The power of your subconscious mind, it can teach you, elevate you, educate you, and be able to open your eyes on a lot of different things. It can help use your mind. It can help you to reduce on all the friction in your life. And it can also empower you when it comes to finances. And yeah, with that said, guys, I think I've answered a couple of your questions. There are a couple more, but I think I've truly tried my best so that I answer a couple of them. Yeah, with that said, guys, let me meet you in my next one. In case you have any other questions, don't hesitate, leave them for me in the description box, comment section below. Tanya and Shylock switching out. Bye for now.